Blessings, everyone. This is Pine Grove News Live. It is 6:01 p.m. here. It's timed out a little bit. Yeah, it's been raining for 3 days now. Off and on 3 days. I don't know. A lot of people going around yawning and tired. Yeah, I just, the sun does give us energy. Gives me energy, that's for sure. And in any case, typical spring, you got to get these rainy days. It's got to water the land. So be it. I just don't want it to be on the weekends when I have the days off so I can go out and do something. If I can. So, we'll get started with the news. Other than that, I hope everyone else is doing okay. I know we're all going through our trials and fiery ones at that. So I wish you peace in that. I know how it goes. And you will find it. So I just want to let you know that I've got some updates on the Orville Dam. A couple videos from a couple people. I put it at the end. So if you want to listen to that, you can go there. You know where it is. Probably the last 10 minutes. Anyways, I got some, I guess it's Trumpet News, who put out a video and included, Dave Hodges and Orville Dam Watch group, I guess it is. Some things going on, man. Why are people on that spillway at 1:30 a.m. in the morning on Easter? Good question, eh? Yeah, that's what we're trying to find out. But there's a few more people to look at and watch who are watching this now. I would advise those people below that dam, go find some other place to live for a couple weeks. Take your vacation now. Case. Let's just go on. A couple earthquakes today I'll talk about. This one in the Philippines was a 6.8. Let's see if I can get a little close up. So yes, that is in the Ring of Fire. I can zoom out. So that's in the Ring of Fire. Pretty active down there. I mean, what was it? Yes, a couple of days ago we had that 6.5 below Australia, and don't normally see them there. So that bared looking into. Move this darn thing. And this from Strange Sounds. Yeah, this is about the Philippines, but they got it down as a 6.1. I believe it's a 6.5. No, they're right. They must have downgraded it because I saw 6.5 and the other one was a 6.0. But anyway, they're calling it right here, 6.1 earthquake. Okay, it kills at least 8 people in the Philippines on Easter Monday. Trapped people screaming for help. Ground moving like waves. So this, there we have it. And collapsed buildings that housed a supermarket in northern Philippine province. This is not the first one they've had there, but any case, pray for the people of the Philippines there. Pray that, just pray for them. I believe that they are a little lost regardless of the earthquake. We're going to pray for them for the earthquake. We're going to pray for them because they're lost people. I mean, I don't think that there are too many Christians there. I'm just assuming at the moment because I've seen videos and other clips from that area. And I believe they believe in like Buddha or something like that. Don't take my. And this one, right on that tongue. Remember that tongue we were talking about the other day? Yeah, right on there between South America and Antarctica. That was the 6.0 out here. Now, they've had ones out here recently, within the past month or two, maybe 3. There's been a couple big ones down there. I don't track the smaller ones, though I probably should try, like I said before. Thinking about going to reset the parameters on that and get up, updated for like maybe 5s or better. Last time I was in there, I couldn't do it like that. But if it's changed, if I can remember, it's most unlikely. But anyways, so there you have it, right there in the Atlantic Ocean, Southern Atlantic Ocean. Right on the, I don't know, I guess I'm going to call it the tongue. And let's get to the weather now. From the Watchers, earliest recorded snow in history of Western Australia. This article says, earliest record snowfall in 49 years strikes Western Australia. So, I don't know. I mean, 50 years is a long time. I thought they were still in the summer. They were just getting over all that heat waves we've been hearing for the past couple months. Oh, yeah, Earth changes. I saw that up there. The residents of Western Australia woke up to extremely rare April snow on Bluff Knoll in the Stirling Ranges on April 19, 2019. 3 days ago. This is the earliest snow ever recorded in the history of Western Australia. It's exceptional. We've only recorded once in the last 100 years. So they're saying, contradicting themselves here. And I don't believe it's Watchers. I believe they get it from somebody else, but they do claim some copyright stuff here. The last time Western Australia saw April snow was on April 20th, 1970. So, yeah, 49 years ago. But Knoll receives snow approximately 1.7 times per year. 1.7 times per year. I mean, how does that actually work? 7. Kind of like, in order for a family needed to grow, you need 2.5 children. What are they going to do? Cut one in half or something? Bring the other half back? I never got that. I don't know. Obviously, it works with bigger numbers. Anyways. So, yeah. So that goes and proves this one correct. We're talking about in recorded history. Anyways. Newscom.au. Oh, there you go. Earlier. See, wacky weather everywhere. On time or late or never comes. So at least 5 dead after a 3-day severe weather outbreak slammed southern eastern U.S. I'm just saying, folks, we live in southern New England, northern Connecticut, and so far, well, I'll knock on wood. So far, I don't know whether that helps or not, just something I've learned I got to get out of the habit of doing. Connecticut has been spared for the most part of all this really severe weather that's been flying either above us or below us. This little map here gives you an idea. Tornadoes, wind, hail, and another system. And they got another system. Like I said, it's been raining here for 3 days. They got another system coming in supposedly by the end of the week to put rain on that other weekend. We will see. 5 days away, anything can happen. And maybe I need to put in a prayer. I mean, they've got weather modification now. They could just go up to my state and just fire one of those plasma balls and just dissipate all that moisture above us, okay? Give us sunshine days. Give us the sunshine for the weekend. Come on. Let's get it in the right order. If we can manipulate the weather, what do I got to pay? Do I got to take out a loan or something and pay you? If I'm going to do that, I'm not just going to do it for the weekend. I want to do it for the rest of the summer. I want cloudless skies in the summer on the weekends. Okay? During the week, I don't care. I'm inside working. I'm lucky if I get outside. So, yeah, a couple days ago, we were watching. I have brothers and sisters in the Mississippi and Tennessee area, and they took cover for a few hours, but they were okay. So there's your weather. One of Alaska's warmest springs on record is causing a dangerous thaw. Well, Alaska's been talked about a lot the past few years. They've had warmer than normal temperatures. You know, I believe it's there and also in Siberia where the permafrost is melting, and they are worried about. Well, we've heard stories of Siberian in Russia, that area, the permafrost melting and uncovering deer that were tainted with anthrax. There were few children who, you know, succumbed, or not, they didn't die. I don't think they died, but they got pretty sick from that. And that's the thing that, the other thing we got to worry about. Not all this stuff is melting. You got layers and layers, and, could be hundreds and hundreds of years have gone by. And so if there's some kind of, disease or whatever that has been covered up and we've taken care of it, eradicated it, or whatever, we don't want to reawaken it. The Lord said that there will be pestilences and got the earthquakes and diverse places for sure underneath Australia. Wow. In any case, I know we've all heard about this. It was even on mainstream news. This Easter bombing over the weekend on Sunday. Easter bombing. It killed at least 207 in Sri Lanka. Frankly, just what I've heard, that there were multiple bombs that went off. Vans or a van were used in different areas. So it was definitely a coordinated strike. They're not really, at least last time I checked, not really talking about who may have done it. So, reading the story, at least 207 people were killed and hundreds more injured in near simultaneous blasts. Some words I just cannot get out. That rocked 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels in Sri Lanka. Security officials said in the worst spout of violence in the South Asian country since its civil war ended a decade ago. 2 of the blasts were suspected to have been carried out by suicide bombers, according to the official, who spoke on condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to speak with reporters. Worshippers and hotel guests were among the dead, officials said, and I have heard that there were Americans in there too. Yes, there were Americans that were killed in this attack. Still finding out more on that. And they have some kind of a curfew down there too, right now. I guess they're still investigating. Yeah, this one right here from End Time headline. U.S. government says several Americans among the dead in Easter Sunday's bombing in Lanka. I don't think I've heard exactly who they were either. The United States says that several American citizens have been killed in the Easter Sunday bombings in Sri Lanka. Of course, more than 200 people have died in a series of blasts against churches, and we just read all that. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, in a statement, says that even as details of the attacks are still emerging, the U.S. government can confirm that Americans are among the casualties. At the moment, that's all we got. And though I came in here late, so I was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, just trying to get some news in order to get it out on time. But did hear most of this on Sunday. I was home on Sunday. Yeah, just another excuse. Here we go. So these vile attacks are a stark reminder of why the United States remains resolved in our fight to defeat terrorism. So I hope you all know that when 9/11 happened and Bush claimed that we are now at war with terrorism, he didn't just mean, just the terrorists who may have taken down the two towers. He means all of them. All of them. That's a hell of an endeavor, let me tell you. It means all of them. And then we went and agreed to, I wouldn't have agreed to it, but the Patriot Act. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. I got a lot of information up on the PC screen that is kind of gathering and going through it. The Patriot Act and Horsepower Act and all those things that we need to look over. I'm trying to get together kind of summary for you, letting you know that we are not under the Constitution right now. Patriot Act basically rips the Constitution up. And that's one thing. But this has been around since, I believe it was right after World War I, or maybe just before it. 1917, 1933, I believe there was something signed by the president. And it has a lot to do, I'm still looking for the exact article and so on, but it was about, it was about the government being able to go anywhere, do anything to protect this country, to ensure that it will go on. And that means if they want your business down the street, your ice cream shop, if they want that, they can take it. And you can't do anything about it. It's not eminent domain, though eminent domain you're going to need to watch out for with Mr. Trump. He likes to do that, and he has used it before. Those are the things, especially with these Walmarts, near railroads. There's been, conspiratorial comments about them being command centers for the military throughout the country. Command centers and, what do you call it? Kind of like warehouses where you can get material. So instead of going into a Walmart and looking for the pool, for a little kiddie pool for your young grandson or granddaughter, this particular Walmart would only carry, machine guns, grenades, tanks, rocket launchers, stuff like that. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get your kiddie pool there. No. And so that's what they're allowed to do. And that kind of just overstepped the Constitution. And we haven't had it since. They actually revised it in 72. And I've actually had the material in my hand and was reading from it. And I haven't been able to find it yet. Sometimes I can be very slow with finding it. I get start looking for it. I get distracted and start doing something else. Yeah, I go all over the place many times. Very hard time concentrating on one thing until it's done. So anyway, that's in the future. I was hoping to get it done soon, but so FBI arrests the leader of an armed group stopping migrants in New Mexico. You know, we did some news couple, I don't know if it was 2 days ago, 4 days ago, about the militia in New Mexico coming out and actually stopping migrants. In I believe they had actually stopped a horde of about 100 plus migrants, and they stopped them and held them until authorities came. They were just helping out, but now this guy gets arrested. So if this is happening, okay, and I'm almost sure that it is, then what's happening at the border is a lot different than you think. We're not hearing anything about. Are we? Are we? I haven't seen a whole lot of articles again about the border, except for these. The projections that they have per month. 10,000 immigrants per month, and you hear an occasional story of two that they've suspected of something, and they're not regular migrants, and so on and so forth. But they're suppressing those things as good as they can, and that's why you got these algorithmic AIs out there on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, who knows, maybe everything, that are suppressing this stuff. That's why we have the internet, so that the elite knows exactly what everyone's doing. Yep. They can see you right now. You have a camera on your computer, your device that you're using. They can see what you're doing. They can see you. I don't think that they can't. They can now. They used to. I remember someone told me in '72 they used to be able to, even then, come and reverse the signal from your TV. I mean, you could still be watching TV in the '70s. Okay, and I remember watching the moon landing. It was a supposed moon landing in '69 in black and white. They are able to reverse the signal somehow and be able to look into that room where that TV is through some kind of, I don't know, frequency hopping or writing or whatever. I mean, Star Trek. Go look at Star Trek. You'll learn so much, man. When they start sending signals out and they don't want anybody else to know about them, they'll ride a signal on another signal, either at a smaller, lower wavelength or something like that that's undetectable through that particular stream. They've known how to do that for a long time. They're not going to tell you. Anyway, what's this? Oh, yes, very big news story here. This is from the Free Thought Project. Cell tower removed from school after multiple students and teachers diagnosed with cancer. We brought to your attention other people who have also had cell towers close to them and have suffered the consequences of either brain damage or cancers. We've already had a group of small youngsters get sick and diagnosed with cancers. We also had firemen, who took the pole down after they were all, or a majority of them, were found to have brain tumors. Excuse me. So now, after close to a dozen people attending and living near a school with a cell tower inside the campus have been diagnosed with cancer. Parents and officials have had the tower removed. Are we all going to wait until we get cancer to have these cell towers removed? You all know that the phones, when you put them up to your head, is giving you some kind of cancer, is doing damage to you. You all know that? I don't have many subscribers. I really don't care as long as they go out and put this warning out to people. They let everybody else know. Let your friends know. Let your loved ones know that these things, they invented this technology for a reason. Not only to spy on you, and there are multiple reasons. Hold them up to your head. They gave you a chance to go wireless. I mean, not wireless, but hands-free. They even came up with a law requiring you to, when you're in a car, to go hands-free. Use an earbud or something. And they were giving it away here in Connecticut free for a while. We should have all taken advantage of that. Now, I don't really know. You still get the Wi-Fi. That bud is in your ear and it's not hardwired. You still get that Wi-Fi. But you can't avoid that. It is everywhere. There's hotspots everywhere. Why do you think they call them hotspots? Yeah, hot with radiation. I'm telling you, that's... Yeah. So I hope that you're all praying for each other, because they're all just trying to cook it slowly. They're going to try and, like I said, get the best working years out of you that they can, because all these things are cumulative. They don't happen right away, though it appears as 5G and these cell towers, if they're close to you, that is a little quicker. They start putting this 5G on every street corner, in every neighborhood. You're going to see Psalms 91 play out. Psalms 91. You remember Psalms 91? 1,000 will be falling at your right hand or left, and 10,000 at your right, but nothing will come to thee. That's in Psalms 91. You will see a lot of people die. Yeah. Well, here we go, people. It's started. It's been going for a while. These are just small, little stories that get out. Imagine all the stories that aren't being told. For everyone that gets out, there, look, a dozen people here. What about, the things that people aren't reporting? Maybe they're too sick to report anything. We should all be aware of this. Do we really need these cell phones? Our society is so much more messed up because of it. There is no more hands-on, face-to-face social interaction anymore. I've seen people get together with cell phones, and that's all they do is look in their cell phones. Look up periodically, smile. That's about it. Social degenerates is what we are now. Nobody wants to talk to anybody personally. They want to send you a text. Pray for those dozen people at that school. Well, this is from Natural News. Well, first, let me have to put something up. Let's do that now. Maybe too late, but there it is. Fair Use Act. All I'm doing it for is educational and news reporting. That's it. Get nothing out of it. Whole Foods selling bottled water contaminated with dangerous levels of arsenic. Whole Foods selling bottled water contaminated with dangerous levels of arsenic. Now, who is Whole Foods? Isn't that Amazon now? Tap water is undrinkable in many areas thanks to aging infrastructure and other issues, leaving people who don't have a filtration system little choice but to purchase bottled water. However, if you're buying bottled water at Whole Foods, you may not be avoiding as many toxins as you think. Studies have found dangerous levels of arsenic in one of its popular water brands. So an investigation by Consumer Reports found that 11 of 130 brands tested had the detectable amounts of arsenic, which means they could be dangerous to drink regularly. 6 of the brands had levels exceeding 3 parts per billion, including Whole Foods' Starkey brand, as well as Danone's Volvic, Crystal Geisler Alpine, Spring Water, Darude, Dr. Pepper's Pedophile. Oh, is that water? And 2 regional brands, Earth 20 and Crystal Creamery. One of the waters, Pedophile, that's pretty close to remind us of another word, isn't it? Averaged a concerning 18.1 parts per billion. Whole Foods Starkey water, meanwhile, which is marketed as being water in its natural state, was right at federal limits at roughly 10.1 parts per billion. So you can read on and find out why arsenic in water is so concerning. So, arsenic is natural in the sense that it's a trace element found in rocks and sediment, but that doesn't mean that it's safe to consume. It can naturally contaminate groundwater due to mining, agricultural runoff, or geological activity. Long-term exposure to arsenic has been linked to a higher risk of some types of cancer, as well as diabetes and high blood pressure. Who doesn't have some of these symptoms? Cancer is not a symptom, it's a disease, and it's preventable. I believe it's preventable. Yeah, you can figure out a holistic program for yourself and get off some of these things that contain this stuff. I keep talking to my daughter-in-law about her drinking that Mountain Dew. That's been on a list for a while. And she's always complaining of headaches. I says, well, that's why you got a headache. Stop drinking the stuff. She's still drinking it. I don't know if we've turned into masochists, and I can go on with a list. There's lists over there, and Romans, Corinthians, list of actually what this day and age will look like. It's not encouraging. And Whole Foods won't clean up its water. Probably have a mandate. Part of the elite's agenda. In any case. Chinese researchers under fire after creating a human-ape chimeras. Planet of the Apes is here. What the hell are they doing that for? So researchers are playing little gods as they create human-animal hybrids in horrific and dangerous scientific studies. Can you all say the days of Noah? Wasn't that happening back then? This is why, back then, why everything was basically corrupt. It's why Moses was found to be perfect in his generation, because there was no manipulation. He had a clean generation. Yeah, I don't understand why they would do it. They must have an agenda. And what are they trying to do? Trying to just hear most of this from China. Won't be surprised if you hear a lot of this later on from Mexico. The researchers in East have already created human-ape chimeras, and are now acted as if they are little gods after successfully implanting human brain genes into primates. Yeah, so it's triggered an ethical debate. Well, there was an ethical debate many, many years ago, before they created that lamb. Was it Lucy the Lamb? the sheep or whatever, with the first thing that they cloned. They had a mandate then. Can't clone humans. Humans. No, but you can, put human brain genes into apes. Can anybody tell me what the heck that's for? Because I don't think they're telling me in this article. You ever seen Planet of the Apes? Pretty scary. Were they trying to... Hollywood trying to tell us something? I don't. Why would they do that? Sick people. I want to call them people. Most people are taken over by some kind of demonic, possession, because they've opened doors and they haven't repented, haven't gone to Christ to get this all fixed. Yeah, and I just want to mention this briefly. This is a New World Order report. The media mentions impeachment over 300 times after Mueller report finds no collusion. And I listen to this crap every day, and I'm tired of hearing it. Okay, I'm surprised. I'm sure everyone else is getting tired of it. Maybe that's what they want. But all I can tell you is these Democrats, they're not happy with the report. They want somebody to find something in the report. They want somebody to interpret something in the report as long as it goes against Trump. Okay? Now, they have been talking about impeaching him for his collusion or, what do you call that? Something about impeding justice or something like that, because he fired Mueller. They think that he fired Mueller because Mueller was going to come out and put out a report against him, so he fired him because of it. Crap like that, man. 2 years, millions and millions of dollars for this report that they, basically is, anyways, this is just, it's insane. These people, and you know who I'm talking about, of the, Democratic, whatever you want to call it, demon rats. I mean, it's something else now. There are just people there that are really off. Even the new ones coming in, they're just angry, and they gang stalk. They sit in president for almost 3 years now to try and find something to impeach him because they didn't get their way. I hate to tell you, but the majority of them are women. You've seen all the white shirts that were there in the State of the Union address, and all were women. I don't know. Is this the women power? Is this what we have to look forward to in our ridiculous laws that they're creating and implementing or trying to pass? The new Green Deal? Are you serious? How is that even sensible in any sense of the word? No pun intended. No, they want you to be so, over the top, horrified about all this that you're willing to accept some of the, basics. You'll accept them then, right? I don't accept the whole freaking, demonic party. They're not working for us anymore. They're working for themselves and working against the sitting president. That's all they've been doing for almost 3 years, and probably longer than that. They want a socialist country here. They want to bring us down to our knees. They want us to become a third world nation like these others. I don't know why. And it's not really that these people who are trying to do this are the ones who are going to benefit from all this. So come on, people. I hope you understand that's what's going on. You are going to have to pay, not them. You will have to pay. You will have to go and work 20 hours a day 4 hours sleep and go and do it all over again just so they can collect whatever they want to collect. Their sharing the wealth is the sharing of the wealth between them, not you. You are just a slave, and you'll do what we say. You better get used to it, or you better speak up now. Between that and the poisoning and we need to go march those people out of the White House. Tell them to go back where they came from. Rebuke them. Send them back to the devil. Send them to the black hole that they just discovered. Send them there. You can do that. Let's pray for that. Let's pray that the Democratic Party is disabled, broken down. Rebuke them to the dark echelons of space. I don't know. Put them in the freaking black hole. Send them where they belong, into nothingness, into oblivion. Then this is we're at the end now. I'm just going to show you briefly, I guess. There was one part, so I wanted to show you a minute or two. This is about the Oroville Dam. And we need to pay attention to this because there's something going on. There's problems that we know that these dams, not just Oroville Dam, there are other dams like Shasta up north, and other dams that are in trouble, and they're at their peaks right now. And right now, I guess you're headed into like the second day of almost 90-degree temperatures in Northern California. Anyway, that's what's been reported to me. If that snowpack isn't, it melts, fills all these things up. In any case, what I want to tell you here, I just want to show you these YouTube channels. This one is the Orville Dam Watch group. And this is 6.5 minutes of them out there in the night with flashlights doing something at night. The cameras, as well as the data for the levels of water coming in and going out, have all either been manipulated or it's unavailable. So I'm just skipping through this, and this is just watching these two cameras of people out there with flashlights. Okay, this is the bottom, and this is the upper. And then there's this guy, Trumpet News, who is also going to tell you a couple things about all this. And he's also going to give you the channels for Dave Hodges, the one you just saw, the Orville Watch group. And ask the question. Let's listen for a second here.
And waiting, and I'm looking at the smoke. You know when they say where there's smoke, there's fire? Okay. Well, I see a lot of smoke right now. I don't see fire yet, but I see smoke. And I would have to say that this is an important watch period, a period of watching, waiting, looking for all the things that they say are about to pop out here with this, which they might be trying to cover up. And why? And this is the question I have for you is, why were they working over in the middle of the night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning on the Spillway on Easter? This is Easter. Why were they working on Easter morning, early in the morning on the Spillway with flashlights? If there wasn't something going on, I'm going to show you guys some footage, and I'm also going to go over some of the information coming out of Dave Hodges' program, and promote a couple of channels again, so you guys can go subscribe to these guys. And I might try to have some of these guys on and interview them here as well.
The biggest earthen dam in the United States. The Department of Water.
All right.
From 2 days ago, Preston of Agenda 21, they do regular.
This is actually listening to that Orville Watch group, and he's going to just ask, talk to you a bit and ask the same questions.
shows all the time, usually on Dave Hodges' show. And Dave has an article here from 2 days ago. The collapse of the Oroville Dam has become a distinct possibility. And there's some interesting information in here.
Yeah, we put that out too.
Some of us may already know or heard of, but it's good to just kind of keep bringing out the information that's going on here, because resources in California as the early morning hours of April 18th. The biggest earthen dam in the United States, standing at a height of 901 feet. The dam is experiencing threats to its existence from a number of sources. Here is a recent story from which indicated that overtopping was a looming threat. This alone could collapse the dam. And this is from, I'm assuming, Paul's website, Agenda 21 Radio.
Here that long because I have to go, but I wanted to show you this recent update on the Orville Dam Watch group. This is the Orville Dam Watch group on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well. And look at this footage. He's got footage, and this guy is great. I want to interview this guy. His name is Marty. Marty, if you're out there listening, I do want to interview you when you get some time. If you want to get some stuff out, we'll get you on here and we'll talk. But this guy, I like his intro. But listen to what he has to say today, and showing you the footage of them out there with their flashlights. It looks like they're just out there with flashlights, but they're out there working. 1 o'clock in the morning this morning. What are they doing out there?
Welcome to the show. Hey, no matter what happens here, the mud just continues to be slung. People being called all kinds of names, wackadoodles, all kinds of other stuff, Oh my goodness, the comments are just amazing. Keep them coming. All you trolls are great. So if you ask the DWR or Juan Brown what's going on with the spillway, they'll say there's nothing wrong with the spillway at all. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. We don't know how many times to tell you guys there's nothing wrong with the spillway. We are merely filling up the lake and looking for gold in the middle of the night. No. What are these guys doing down here? Does anybody have any idea? I already know. This is a rhetorical question. This is where I know the answer, and I ask you, acting like I don't really know, but I seriously know. Okay, so what's going on? There's nothing going on here, just filling up the lake. Okay, and when you guys are filling up the lake, you guys are over here at night, at midnight, 12:30, 1 a.m., Easter morning. Maybe they're trying to roll the stone away. I don't know. What do you guys think's going on? I'd really like to hear what you guys think, because it's important to me what you guys think. I don't care what Juan Brown thinks, but I care what you guys think. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything that you feel is just going to be life-changing for people here in the area and for all of us here at the Orville Dam Watch Group, then be sure to share that. I'm just going to let some music play. Built a dam. Yeah, they didn't walk around out there with flashlights, walking around, looking around like they was looking for their lost dog. So the last time they ran the spillway, the vibration that was caused was unequal underneath of the spillway. Might have led to some opening of some fissures in the rocks underneath the dam. Imagine standing on the concrete of the spillway, and you're standing on 3-4 feet of concrete that's sitting on top of 3-4 feet of concrete, and you feel water rushing underneath your feet.
Yeah, so that is a one question that I have. You got this spillway, okay, and all this concrete, and it's supposed to just flow water out in a direction, okay. Now, if you've got, because my question was, I see a lot of black lines apparently, and of different shapes and sizes on the spillway. And apparently that is water seeping through cracks. And supposedly, I've heard one rumor that they're out there actually cleaning out these cracks and then filling them up with caulk. Okay? Now, to stop the seepage from coming through. My first problem here is that man, if you've got water seeping through a cement spillway and you've got the whole freaking dam and all this water underneath that, this earthen dam that's supposedly holding all this water back, there's a big problem going to happen. This stuff, there's not supposed to be any water underneath the spillway. That's why they put the spillway there to put the water on top and over this earthen area. And anyways, and then he starts talking about the green grass that's growing on the side, which means that there's moisture there, which means, man, if you got water underneath there, it's just going to make everything muddy, and it's going to make it useless.
Well, the California Department of State Parks web camera that's pointed at the spillway from the visitor center in Oroville is down right now. Action News Now has received messages from community members worried about what this means, and others raising concerns about spotlights and equipment that can be seen on areas of the spillway where water appears to be seeping through. Well, according to state parks, one webcam was damaged due to recent storms, and they're still waiting on a part to repair that camera. Now, a spokesperson for the DWR.
No, you saw that, right? That patch there? You got water seeping in through there? I mean, but in many cases, when I'm looking at this head on, I see these black lines like this all the way up here. If that's the
explains, yes, when the lake is at 813 feet or higher, seepage is expected and normal. Those spillway gates are not.
See, here. Seepage is normal. You have earth underneath you. It's not supposed to be water.
Watertight. The DWR has placed additional cameras, ladders, and lights for observation on the spillway because they expect that they may have to use it this season.
The spillway was basically reconstructed using the same design as they had before, which we know that didn't work. We know how that all worked out. But they've introduced a new problem to this whole equation, which is when they did this, they didn't take into account certain variables that have to do with physics of how water transmits, vibration and the vibration that's actually being caused by this. Potentially, if this dam ran at its full release capacity, which would be 120 cubic feet per second, this dam would rip itself to shreds. We can see here that as the water is being released, that the sensor readings here, as you can see on the screen, show the difference in the vibration that's being caused. And what happens is these differences of vibrations, these frequencies sort of overlap and they modulate in the ground underneath. And what's going on in the ground underneath is what's really, really super important. But we took readings from their piezo transducers that are located in the spillway. All that information is all routed back to a central computer, which is networked to the DWR.
Yeah, so there you have it, folks. Something's going on. I don't know what this is. What is this? Oh, this was, yeah, so after, hearing all this, seeing all this stuff about the Oroville Dam, watching it, break down, what was it, last year or the year before, I remember seeing this on a history channel. It's called one of the worst man-made disasters in history. Okay, and this was this other dam. Okay, I don't know if you probably remember what happened. It was in Italy. Okay, but apparently this, what happened here was that all this water, when they have it filled up to capacity, played a role in this particular mountain right here, soaking up water, and it just collapsed into the reservoir, which caused tsunamis in both directions, and one over the dam and then down into the town that was at the bottom. Okay.
Though relatively small, it prompts a flurry of scientific research. What it can talk has become waterlogged, dislodging a 720 million ton chunk of rock that is now slowly slipping down the mountain towards the lake below. And so in 1962, the authorities lower the water by over 70 feet. At that level, they are confident the dam can't be overtopped, provided the landslide falls into the reservoir.
See the town down there?
They expect. Even as locals grow uneasy,
It's flooded.
officials remain confident
Most of
that
them
the
die.
threat is minimal.
No one had been warned in Longarone. There were no official warnings. There were just the warnings coming from the mountain.
October 9th, 1963. Traveling at over 60 miles an hour, 3 times faster than expected, the 1.5 mile wide chunk of rock is finally unleashed. In its sights, the enormous Vaillant Reservoir.
How can you imagine? 9 billion cubic feet of rock breaking away from a mountain.
In opposite directions. One towards the dam, the other towards the village of Erto. Traveling at over 30 miles an hour, the first wave engulfs farms and houses all along the shore, killing most of their occupants. Shielded by a spur in the mountain, the village of Erto is miraculously spared the worst of the wave. At the opposite end of the reservoir, the second tsunami is now hurtling towards the Vaillant Dam. It sends more than 275 million tons of water over the edge and into the valley below. In its crosshairs, nearly 5,000 inhabitants of Longarone, with nowhere to run.
There you go. Yeah, when we start, people, I don't know, we need to learn from history, or we're going to be doomed to repeat it. I guess that's the best thing I could say right now. So much of our infrastructure is in shambles, and they're not doing a whole lot to fix it. I don't know why. I mean, we can all speculate. Maybe something's coming. They know what's coming, and they're not telling us. That's why they're building all these cities underground and all these tunnels throughout the whole United States and Mexico and Canada. Not for us, okay? We're going to be that village at the end of, down there by themselves with this huge wave of water coming to drown us all. And I'm saying not just that, it could be anything. All these people keeping track and watching, we'll find out. Hopefully it won't be as bad. With that, everyone, it's Monday. Yep, it's Monday, so I will see you Wednesday unless something happens. I'll just leave it at that unless something happens, because the last time I said emergency, and I went last Thursday. We came out for a short bit, and it wasn't emergency. But anyways, with that, people, we need to keep our eyes to the skies, keep our hearts, in Jesus' hands. We are covered under the blood of Jesus Christ, and we will be saved. But remember that, some of us may still we all have to die. It's just a matter of whether it will be a blink of an eye or some boulder from space hitting you on the head. In either case, you won't be feeling any pain. You will not. You will just be gone. Okay? We don't want to die of cancers and have, just linger on and linger on. There's nothing, no humanity in that. And people with cancers, and there's going to be so many, and there has been so many, prayer works. Prayer works to alleviate their pain so that they can pass or cure them. That's up to you. It's your prayers. We should pray as a body. You know, the day that we all become of one mind is a day that I very much look forward to. Of us all being of one mind. And we're not right now. We're off in different directions and too comfortable, I guess, in the places that we're at. And so we don't want to see anything else. I don't know. But I do know that, I mean, look at all the 500, last time I checked, 550 different sects of, Christianity or offshoots of Catholics, the Catholicism. Anyway, that's for another time too. God bless you all, and, be safe and have peace, man. There's peace in Jesus Christ and hope right there. Just need to ask. God bless you all, and peace out.